We're going to talk about how body language can affect your state. And this is something I'm having to be mindful of at the moment, and you might want to kind of consider this. When you have certain life events or situations, it can sometimes you want to protect yourself against them. So poor body language can come as a protection. You're trying to protect yourself against your environment or the people around you. So you might be in a situation where you don't want to face something or you don't want to talk to somebody, and poor body language is your way of trying not to face it, sort of thing. And this point, I'm reminded of this point from a book I read a while ago, and I'll mention the book, but it wasn't specifically about this. This is just one point, and I'm sort of reminded it was one of the rules in the book. So this is something I'm focusing on at the moment, because I know there's things that I don't want to face, so my body language could become a problem. And in the past, when I was overweight, I've used this. I would try and hide the fact that I'm overweight by making myself smaller. So that's a body language thing as well. So you got to try not to get into a negative feedback loop. So if you're feeling down or something you don't want to face, you tend to close off. And then that makes you feel depressed. And then it just keeps reinforcing itself. And this is the same with mood. You might have a life event, I've spoke about this, or I will speak about this in a future video. You might have a life event that makes you sad. Now you need to rebound from that sadness quickly, otherwise being sad is a normal response to a life event. Depression is sustained sadness over a long period of time, and that's not healthy. So you can turn a transient event of sadness into a long-term depression, which would become your character. So that's like being sad or having a life event, being closed off, and then forever you're just, sometimes you see people walking along with like a really bad hunchback. They might have just had a life event that they was trying to avoid, and that's now their posture forever. It's kind of become part of their character, and that's because the loop has just reinforced itself. So you adopt bad body language as a protection against your environment. So you've got two types of body language. You've got open body language, which is you're approachable and receptive, and closed body language is like, leave me alone, don't talk to me, I want privacy. Now this is a metaphor for life as well. You'll do that in response to people and environments, but it's the same for life. If you have an open body language and just walk along like head up, looking around, and eye contact is a lot to do with it, then you're like saying to life, yeah, I'm willing to go with the flow and see what comes to me, and it will probably be good. Like if you're open to it, you're assuming it's going to be good. Whereas if you're closed and you're like, right, head down, don't make eye contact, you're protecting yourself from the world, and you're assuming it's going to be bad. I need to stay away from threat. So this person doesn't feel threatened, they feel welcoming, and then this person is threatened by life. So body language is like, it shows how you view the world. So when you read somebody else's body language, you can tell what view they have of the world. They're either threatened by life or they're embracing life. And it's unconscious, so this is why you need to be mindful of it, so that you can be the person that is embracing life, essentially, and not hiding from things. So eye contact, again, is a lot to do with it. But you've got posture is the main one. So somebody that's upright, and you've got the phrase an upstanding citizen, or that person's confident. Whereas somebody who's slouched is disinterested, low energy. So you can choose, because it's unconscious, but as soon as you become aware of it, you can choose, even if you are disinterested and low energy, by adopting the posture of a confident person, it gives you more confidence. So this is why it's a good practice. Now an actionable step here is, my friend will often do this. If I'm like slouched, or even if he is, he'll just say posture check. or if there's a group of us, it would just be like posture check, and then we was all a bit like lazy looking, so then you stand up and now you address the posture. And if you're on your own, you can do this. You can set an alarm like on your phone every hour, or you can just be mindful whenever the clock ticks over to the new hour, so 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, just see the time and think, oh yeah, posture check. Another one, so that was posture, and we've done eye contact. Another one is smiling. And I'm pretty sure, do your own research on this. Like I say, I'm not the science guy, I just give you ideas. But I'm pretty sure I read this somewhere or heard somewhere that when you smile, there's like a hormonal response in your body, because your body doesn't know why you're smiling, right? So you have to be mindful of whether or not you're smiling. And there's this Taoist guy who does like a meditation. He says you should do this meditation and smile, and it's like a body scan, so he goes through each part of the body and he's like you smiling into that body part. And I think there's obviously science behind that, which is if you smile, you're going to have that hormonal cascade which makes every function in your body improve anyway. And the same is true if you've heard the term resting bitch face. That's somebody who's unaware and they just naturally, and I'm like this, most of the time I'll have a resting bitch face. I'm just serious looking because I'm not conscious of it. So I've been getting into the habit of reminding myself to smile. And the world responds to you differently when you smile. That was in another book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Just smiling at someone can like completely change their whole day. Or you could not, and then you miss out on like the benefits for you and that person. So if smiling can affect, it's like a yawn. Yawns are infectious, and I think smiles are like smiling is the same thing. So that's another like thing you can implement, because I've been meditating before I go to bed to improve my sleep, and I'll just be sat there like not smiling essentially, and then I'll catch myself and then I'll smile, and you can feel the difference in your body. So this is kind of like a fake it till you make it practice. So you might actually be sad, but you can hijack your brain's, like I'm pretty sure dopamine or serotonin or whatever good feel-good chemicals get fired off in your brain when you're happy will get fired off if you just smile. So you can hijack the happiness response by tricking yourself. So I hope that makes sense. So yeah, smile. That's the point there. And I see this as gratitude. So I can link, I haven't really heard this link been made before, but you can link it back to gratitude. So poor body language is like you're ungrateful for life and everything around you because you're trying to avoid it and not be part of it. Whereas the open body language is a form of gratitude. It's like I'm looking around, I'm grateful for the life events. And the argument is, well, if life is not very good for you at the moment, or the events or people or situations are difficult, then why not adopt that? And that is a fair point, because sometimes if, like, say somebody was physically trying to harm you, to protect yourself is obviously a good idea. But in life, most threats are perceived threats and they're stressors, so it's unlikely that somebody's physically trying to attack you, and if they are, then protect yourself. But life tends to attack us in a perceived way. It's not physical, so there's no point, there's no need to physically protect yourself. And the point is, you have to adopt the confident body language in the face of the hard thing, and then you become confident and you can deal with it. So again, that's a positive reinforcement loop. So life's hard, I'm going to have my chest out. Oh, that was the book. Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules for Life. And the first rule is stand up straight with your shoulders back. And it's not stand up straight with your shoulders back if life is good and you have a lot to be confident about. You do that anyway. So even when life is difficult, you stand up straight with your shoulders back and that will create a situation where you have the confidence to attack the whatever the situation is head on. So I hope that made sense. So be conscious of your body language, smile. So yeah, adopt good body language. And so this was my practice with the gratitude. So your body language normally deteriorates as you're being ungrateful for things. So you would say, oh, I've got to see this person today and I don't want to. So you're ungrateful. Oh, I've got to go here and I'm really dreading being in that place. And your body language breaks down like that. So the opposite of that is gratitude. So like now, I'm really grateful for being in the woods. This is like my happy place. I love being out in nature. So I'm grateful for that. And my body language opens up. I'm also very grateful that the sun's out and the weather's pretty good, because I thought it was meant to be raining today. So I'm grateful for that. And you start looking up and opening your body language up. So you can couple this with a gratitude practice. So I'm grateful that I'm about to have my first meal of the day, and I'm looking forward to it because it's nourishing, healthy food. So that's opened me up. Whereas if I was ruminating on the things that aren't good, oh fuck, I've got to do this, then that's the opposite. Hope that helps. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.